So what is up, guys? This is Nick here from Everything Tech, and welcome to this iPhone 7 versus iPhone SE video comparison. Now, the intentions of this video are clear. If you're in the market to pick up an iPhone and you're trying to decide between that $399 iPhone SE or that $649 to start iPhone 7, this video might be of help to you. Now, let me get this right out of the gate. This is rocking the Apple A9 CPU with 2 GB of RAM. This is rocking the Apple A10 Fusion chip with 2 GB of RAM, 3 GB of RAM on the Plus model, but this is not the Plus model here. Now, on the back cameras, you're gonna have a 12 megapixel iSight camera with f1.8 aperture here on the iPhone 7. And on the iPhone SE, it's also a 12 megapixel iSight camera. Both have the dual tone LED flash here on the back of the devices themselves. This one comes in jet black, black, silver, gold, rose gold only. No more space gray for the iPhone 7. Now the iPhone SE comes in gold, rose gold, space gray, and silver. So let's go ahead and turn these guys around and talk about the displays themselves or the devices themselves. So both are rocking the latest iOS 10 version. I'm gonna go into settings here and show you that before we get more into the testing of these devices. So you can see the iPhone 7 here does rock iOS 10.0 right there, as you can see. And then on the iPhone SE, we are also rocking 10.0, but this one is rocking 10.0.1. I might need to do a software update on the 7, unless there might not be one. But anyway, I'm gonna boot these guys off really quickly, and then we're gonna boot them back on here. So let me boot these guys both off at the same time. And let's talk about them a little bit while they're booting off. So I've had the iPhone 7 for about 24 hours now, and I can tell you right out the gate, it doesn't take me long to learn about these devices. I've been messing with phones for years, so it's really easy for me to absorb everything a phone's about really quickly. Hence, that's why my videos drop pretty quickly, because I'm been using them so long. So it's just, I can really absorb the speed and everything, and I got an eye for that stuff. So anyway, we're gonna boot these guys up at the same time. The iPhone 7, let me tell you, does not feel that much quicker than the iPhone SE at all. Probably about a 10% difference. It's gonna be really hard to see, but let's see which one gets there first. Now, one thing I do wanna mention about the iPhone 7 is this home button right here. This Taptic engine does make it feel snappier because this physical button just physically takes longer to press down. So the iPhone SE for the win here on the boot up test. Nice stuff, iPhone SE. So you can see right there that this Apple A10 CPU is a blazing fast CPU, but it's not like it's something that you have to go out and get right now. It's not that big of a deal right now. The A9 was already probably the fastest CPU on the market here. So you can see right away that the iPhone 7 does have a sharper screen here. And the SE, higher contrast ratio and brighter here. It does get brighter, you can see. Let me put the iPhone SE about the same brightness, full brightness. But let's see how they look there. But you can see the iPhone 7 does just look a tad bit better. It's gonna be hard to see behind camera, but there is just a bit better viewing angles than over here on the iPhone SE. It tends to wash out just a tad bit on the SE. This is nothing you're gonna see too much in person, but unless you're comparing them side by side. So let's go ahead and get into this application speed test. Let's begin with calendar. And you can see that was about the same. You guys let me know what you see different, but you can see just that Taptic engine going back always makes it feel a little bit snappier going back to the home screen. You can see right there once again. It's just because this is a capacitive touch type button, so it reads your fingerprint versus your, actually physically pressing. Physically pressing just takes longer. So let's go into the clocks on both. And you can see that looked like the SE, but let me know what you guys thought there. Let's go home. Let's go on the clock really quickly there. Look like the SE once again. Let's go into the settings applications on both of these devices. And you could see about the same. See, it's so tiny. So this day-to-day stuff, you're not gonna really notice too much of a difference here in terms of this day-to-day stuff. Now, the iPhone 7 does have the 3D touch feature here, whereas the iPhone SE doesn't have that feature. But you know, I don't think a lot of people are going to be using this feature so much that it's like that's the deciding factor between these two phones. I do not think that the 3D touch is the deciding factor between these phones. I think the deciding factor between these phones is probably the price mostly, as well as the screen size. So let's go into Twitter here, and you could see, bam, see, so you've seen the iPhone SE open that quickly. You can see that's my Twitter. You can go ahead and follow me. Links down below in the description. But you can see, as terms of scrolling and everything, it's all pretty much the same stuff here. Let's go into the multitasking. You could see same speeds pretty much there as well. So this A10 CPU, although it might be faster in numbers, which we will show in a little bit, it's not showing to be incredibly faster. So you can see right there, Amazon SE first here, and then the iPhone 7. So in some cases, the iPhone SE is a quicker device. You can see about the same there. Coming home. Let's go into Twitter once again. Reopen that already. Let's go into YouTube. And you could see iPhone SE once again, and that might be because it has a lower resolution screen. Who knows? But you could see like almost even speed. So if you were deciding between these two, in terms of the speed department, although on paper the iPhone 7 is a technically faster device, it might be a little bit quicker in gaming. In terms of your everyday apps, there's going to be absolutely almost impossible to detect difference, at least as the recording of this video in this current software version for both of these CPUs. The iOS 10. When we get to iOS 11, iOS 12, A10 might be a better processor, but for now, day-to-day tasks seem to be quite even. Let's go into Geekbench, and we're gonna run a CPU bench. So you can see iPhone 7 here, 2.3 gigahertz, 2.34 gigahertz, Apple A10 CPU, 1.59 gigabytes of memory, 1.96 gigabytes of memory available, and Apple A9 on the SE. So let's go ahead and run the benchmark here, CPU benchmark. I'm gonna run it first here on the iPhone 7, and yeah, so I'm gonna just come back when this thing is done because these sometimes take a little bit of time. So give me just a second, guys. So we are back, and you could see that the iPhone 7 got a ridiculously big score of 3442 on the single core and 5551 on the multi-core score. So you can see that the iPhone SE is definitely behind here by quite a few points. But if you go into the single core on the 7, you could see what's right behind it. Your device, the iPhone 7, what's right down there behind it, the iPhone SE, and I mean right down there behind it. It's really close. I mean, yeah, the results on these scores may show that the iPhone 7 was a better winner there, but you know, is it gonna show that much in reality? No, iOS 10 is very optimized. Now, I'm not trying to be biased towards the iPhone SE. I'm just being biased towards the value proposition here. I'm trying to help you guys get the most value for your dollar here. And if you guys are not interested in a 4-inch iPhone, then just disregard the iPhone SE. It just doesn't even matter to you. But if you're just looking for the best iPhone for the cheapest price, the SE is hands down the winner here. Now, the iPhone 7 is hands down a better phone, I would say, in terms of, yeah, it's slightly better in every area, but is it $300, $400 better than the SE? Not a chance in hell. It's not a chance better than $400 better than the SE. Trust me, they're really close. So even going through the general UI, you can see right there, very similar there in the general UI. And actually, I found that this iPhone 7's been glitching a little bit. It might just because, you know, it might just be my unit, but it's had a few glitches here, to be honest with you. A little bit more. I've never had a glitch on the SE, but there's been a few glitches here on the iPhone 7. But you can see everything is pretty much identical. Now, where the iPhone 7 does differ is you do get stuff like live wallpapers here. Let me go ahead and lock the screen here. You do get stuff like live wallpapers here. Like I say, you get the 3D touch feature. You get the 3D touch feature here. You do get no headphone jack here on the iPhone 7. You do get a headphone jack here. You do get water resistance and dust proof here on the iPhone 7. Now, a lot of people are saying that this is waterproof. Look, if you leave your phone in there for 2 to 3 minutes, it will still survive the iPhone 7, but I wouldn't call it waterproof because, you know, if you leave it in there and you forget that it's in the water, I don't know why you would do that, but if somebody, I don't know, some cases happens like that. You drop your phone in the water, you didn't even notice it dropped in the water. You go back 15 minutes later, it might be dead. Probably not, but there's a chance it might be dead. So I would call it water resistant. I would try to just pick it up as fast as it falls in the water. Now, the iPhone 7 also offers a 7 megapixel front-facing camera, and this offers a 1.2 megapixel front-facing camera. However, yes, it is a lot sharper on the iPhone 7, but I still found the SE to do really good. It makes the most of that 1.2 megapixel camera, so I don't think the selfie quality is going to be the deciding factor either for you. Now, if you care all about the numbers, yeah, the iPhone 7 does have the better selfie camera, but in my opinion, for those of you who snap selfies here and there, the iPhone SE still takes a pretty solid selfie, and it does have the Retina flash. Speaking of that, let's go into the cameras. They both shoot in 4K. They both have live photos here. They both do HDR. They both have the same options for the camera. You can see right there. They do have the same feature set in the camera, same software. I mean, it's identical here, which is nice. So what's kind of the moral of the story here between these devices? You get stereo speakers over here on both sides, although this is stereo speakers, but these are not blowing me away like something like the HTCs of the past did. These are pretty loud, but they weren't extraordinary loud in my personal opinion on the iPhone 7. Now, I can't speak for the iPhone 7 Plus, but from this one, very impressed with the front-facing speakers. I like that they're firing forward, but they're just not amazing. Like, they're not blowing me away. I just got to be honest with you. Now, I am speaking from the perspective of, in this review, of somebody who's using a more current iPhone. So if you have something like an iPhone 5S, an iPhone 5, the iPhone 7 is a huge upgrade. Now, if you got the 6S, please think about this. This will not be a worthy upgrade if you're coming from a value proposition. If you're a tech geek, you got to have the latest things just to have it, go ahead and get it. But if it's like for your needs and stuff, do I need it? Is it going to change your life? This phone is not going to change your life at all. Even if you're a photographer taking pictures a lot on the iPhone 7, we're not speaking for the 7 Plus. This phone, you know, yeah, it takes slightly crisper pictures. And speaking of that, let's go and look at the SE. So let me go to camera here. I took a selfie on both. I was testing the quality. Let's go over here and look at these flowers. So you can see the flowers here on the iPhone SE are a bit dimmer, not quite as sharp as the iPhone 7. Now that might just be because this has a higher contrast ratio screen, but you could see the level of detail is pretty close on both. Now, a slight edit would get this picture to look just as good as that one. So, I mean, are you really upgrading massively in the camera department? I don't think so, from the iPhone SE or 6S or 6S Plus to the iPhone 7 here. So yeah, so what is the moral of the story? Like I was saying, if you want to get one of these devices, think about the price, think about the screen. If you want to save some money and you still want a screen, you might want to go on the used market and get an iPhone 6S or a 6S Plus. I actually might be trading this to get a 6S Plus, still thinking about that. Which phone would I take? For the money, I would take the iPhone SE. If I just want the greatest and latest technology, I would take the iPhone 7. I like both of them. Both of them are great. iPhone 7 is definitely the better phone here. The SE has better battery life, but then again, it all comes down to your personal opinion. Both are amazing phones. The iPhone 7 is nothing groundbreaking. It's just a refinement and evolution of what was already a great product in the iPhone 6S. So that's pretty much gonna wrap this video up. If you guys enjoyed it, please go ahead, click the like button for me. Let me know what a phone you would get. If you were going in the store, which phone would you get of these two? The iPhone SE or iPhone 7? Or would you go ahead and get the iPhone 6S? And if this helps you out, go ahead and comment that down below in the description or in the comment section as well. Subscribe to the channel for more technology videos like this. We got iPhone 7 content coming all week on this channel. I have this phone for 7 days on the channel. So yeah, that's gonna pretty much wrap this one up. Have a great day wherever you are. Be sure to be well and peace. Forgot to open up a couple of games here. Let's just open up a couple of games before we end this really quickly here. Modern Combat 5.
3 weeks ago, the World Liberation Army launched a cyber attack on several Asian networks.
Do you think I've been living under...
You can see iPhone 7 is in the lead here. Pretty solid lead here. So iPhone 7, solid lead on there. iPhone 7 slightly faster. So iPhone 7 is going to be a better gaming experience. Have a great day wherever you are. Peace out.
Hey, oh. Yeah. No.